I'm going to show you how to get Creo up and running. So with your desktop shown, I think the easiest option here is just to type in Creo. And Creo comes with a lot of different programs. Creo Direct, Creo Simulate. The one we will be using is Creo Parametric. So make sure you always open up Creo Parametric. I'll click this and it will take a second for it to load. And once it fires up here, you'll have a bunch of windows open. You can close a lot of these windows. You can close the resource window or resource center window. You can close this window. And now we want to set up Creo before we begin working. And the first thing we need to do is show Creo where we want to save our files. And we do that by selecting our working directory. Now, if you're on your own computer, you can go anywhere and you can right click and select a new folder. If you're on your own computer. If you're working on one of the Cornell computers, I recommend finding your computer on the left-hand side here. Mine is PHY07764. Yours will be a little bit different. I'm going to click that and use the H drive. Now this H drive is a network drive, so no matter what computer you log on to on campus, this H drive will be present. So if it's a Cornell computer and you're logged in using your Cornell credentials, this will be present. I'm going to just right click and select new folder, and I'm going to just call this lesson 1. All right, so I have a new folder, and this is the folder here where I want to be saving all my files. I'm going to select OK, and now we can select new. All right, this is where we're going to go, and we're going to select a new part. So we want a new part. And 99% of the time we'll be using a part file. So that's selected. And let's give it a file name. So I'm going to say lesson 1 part. And I'll say OK. And it says we have illegal characters. Now, for some reason, Creo has not implemented that you can use spaces in the file name. So be sure that your file name has no spaces. So I'll take that out. So they're only, so I recommend only using characters here. I think numbers will work, but there are some strict policies on what you can put in the file name. So go ahead and click OK, and we're starting a new part here. And before we get into any features, I'll just show you that you can go up and select File Save. And it'll ask you where you want to save it. It obviously defaults to our working directory. Say OK. And I'm just going to save several times here, and I'll show you what happens. File, save again. Okay, now if I want to find that part, I go down to my File Explorer down here on the bottom of my page. And on the left-hand side here, I'll find my H drive. So I found my H drive, and then it's in lesson 1. And every time I click save, it saves a new part. So if you ever get to a stage in your part and you want to go back, as long as you've saved it, you can go back to your previous parts. So if you're going to turn in one of these files for your homework, you probably want to select the one with the biggest number. That's going to be the most recent file. Now I caution you, if you want to open a file, if you just click this file here, for some reason Windows default opens this. It default opens it not in Creo Parametric. It opens it in Creo Simulate. And this is not the program we want to be working in. So I caution you, if it says up here on the top of your screen, Creo Simulate, you do not want to be in this program here. So I recommend do not click the file to open it in your Windows Explorer directory here. If you want to open a file, I'll close this file. Go back to Creo Parametric and go to the Open dialog, and only one part will show up here. This is your most recent version, and you can select that to open. Okay, that's what I recommend. So you always go into Creo Parametric first, and then open your file. Now let's say I want to clean my directory up a little bit. If I save a bunch of times here, let me click save a few more times, and as you can see, your files can get pretty messy in your folder. If I want to clean this up a little bit, what I can do is go up to File, and then I can go to Manage File and delete old versions. If I delete the old versions, that means I don't need them anymore, and I can do that. So if I delete old versions here, and I say yes, then if I go back to that directory in my Windows Explorer, you'll see that only one part file exists. So it will erase all the previous saves and only save the most recent part. So that's a tutorial of how to open up Creo, how to set your working directory, how to save, and how to find your files on your computer.